Going to call the meeting to order at 6:33 with a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Patty Sindorf here.
Jason Sharp.
Christine Maynard. Here.
Pauline Gagnon here.
Neil Claire.
All right. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes?
Yes, I did.
Anything that needs to be changed?
Nice job, Robin.
Yeah, you always do a good job on theirs. But what I like too is that when we have a discussion, you don't put it's this, and this. You say discussion about. And I think Kim could learn that for Board of Selectmen for her. So she doesn't get flustered. Yeah, it's very frustrating. So
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for May 18th. I'll second.
any discussion at all? Pretty much A-okay? So we all accept it then? Approve it? All in favor? All right.
You get a vote too.
Yeah.
You're sitting in for Sierra.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you get a vote.
just so you know.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, by the way, the trash ordinance that we talked about last time, there is one and it does have like the size and everything in the ordinance.
Nobody knows about it.
Yeah, just no one knows about it. So if you went to the planning board, he can write it to you.
So we can start with what, school budget, right? I just have my paper. What did I do with it?
You need another one?
No, I was just going back there. All right, there. Too many papers. Anybody get to the meeting? Jonathan and I had a family event that night. Did you
It was my
know?
son's birthday.
Your son's birthday. Christine,
I
sorry.
did not hear. Did you go in now?
I think the one that went
I
was
think
Roxy.
they needed a break from me. I just wanted to say farewell.
Don't let the door hit you. So we are all busy. Did everybody get the answers to the questions we had last? I sent that out and stuff. Did you see it, Christine?
I remembered seeing it.
I printed a paper copy if you want to look at it.
Two.
Yeah. You want to look at this?
Yeah, probably be much faster for me.
Yeah, just see if there's anything.
I went to go print it out and then I probably have it printed somewhere else too.
You want to read them, Christine? Out loud?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
Aren't you
really don't
lucky?
write it. It's just, the,
That's not why I handed it to you, but hey.
okay. So the first question, what is the cost of standardized testing and which line is this cost paid out? There is no cost for standardized testing through the state for grades 3 through 8 and 11. Governor Wentworth School District has absorbed the $18 per student fee for 12th grade students from Middleton to take the PSAT. The financials had a few new pages this time for project lines. Are these lines money grants coming into the school? The revenue pages have been included with the financials provided for each meeting this school year, beginning with the month of September. The revenue pages reflect increased detail beginning in January. These financial reports are available on the SAU 69 website under school board agendas.
Okay, let's
Revenue is a credit, not actual dollars added to the budget. So when they say it's a credit, does it then offset the budget? So if it's like a revenue for, like, let's say like special ed tuition, how does that work? Would you know, you would probably know, Tracy. What's the question? So when it says it's not a credit, so when the revenue comes in, does it then offset the budget? Should.
If there's no money spent out of it.
So like if you're getting $1,000 of revenue in for something, like let's say for special ed services, for like, let's say it's like Medicaid for like speech and OT for special ed. So say if you get $1,000 in, it should reflect in the budget line, correct?
Well, it would reflect in your revenue.
Well, it would come in as the revenue line, but then would it then not get expended out of the budget line?
Yes. However, you know, sped lines are all, they're what ifs, you just never know.
Yeah. Well,
And the thing is, I would put my eggs in that basket.
oh, I know. That was the first thing I thought.
The money may come in, but does it go specifically to that line? I don't know.
Well, I mean, technically, if revenue comes in for, especially if you're talking about like Medicaid,
Yeah.
it needs to be
Back to Medicaid.
back into what that service was. If not, it's fraud for insurance purposes.
Case in point, we had a situation prior, last fall. School bus that we had was being driven by a Governor Whitworth bus driver over at New Durham. And he's backing up and he hit the building with our bus, Middleton school bus, and totaled it out. Oh, yeah.
Not hard to do.
So my question to the SAU superintendent, Kathy O'Brien, whatever, if the value of the bus was X, say $20,000, how much did we get from the insurance company, and how much did the school, the Borough kick in if they didn't come up with the full $20,000? And where did the money go to? Oh, well, that's just with the bottom line. Well, in essence, that money should have gone to our revolving trust to go towards purchasing another bus, wouldn't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then on top of it, and the superintendent does have the authority because it's voted on by the school, former school board, basically to be able to sell those buses for any price they get it. And they did.
Is that the one you sold for $300?
And again, it's not just that one bus, there's like 3 buses that were sold.
I hope you changed that policy.
And so I said, well, where'd that money go? Oh, this is the bottom line. Again, that money should have gone to us putting it into with the money's already in the trust towards a bus purchase.
And what did they say?
It's in the bottom line. That's all there is to it.
So I guess two things.
So basically, that meeting was on a Wednesday night. There was several 91As concerning that was ignored by the CEO. And I basically threatened them that if they didn't have information by the delivery session on Saturday, that I was to call the Attorney General on Monday to have them help find out what's going on with the money. So basically, I think anything that's a revenue, unless it's a specific thing, like you would say Medicare, or basically you would think to do with anything to do with that, special ed would go back into that line. But you can't guarantee it, because I don't know.
So I guess two things I would ask is, one, is the current school board going to change the policy
Oh,
for
yes.
allowing,
Oh, yes, that's going to change.
and
It
then,
hasn't yet, it will.
and then my second question is now that there is a big changing of the guards up north, have you considered having a forensic audit? Not an audit, a forensic audit.
Yeah.
Because reading
It's a
all the
different
financials, you can't make heads or tails, and it's very easy for somebody, as you know, being selectmen in the past, for people to shuffle money around.
I can only talk personally, because I'm very, very, very much the checks and balances,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah.
And I don't like people giving me like a generalized comment when it comes to the money.
Mhm.
So having said that, it's going to be my recommendation, whether it gets passed, not by the best of school board members, I don't know, but I am going to, yes, ask that we do an audit. Even if we have to, look, I know money's tight, but I'd rather spend money to find out we don't have a problem than find out what that.
So they do audits, like they are up to date with their audits, but I'm talking like a real forensic audit to make sure.
So the only way to do that is number one, go to the Attorney General's office,
Mhm.
and we all know what we did in the news like that, we're extremely busy with other school districts and SAUs, or we have an independent do it.
I think it should be looked into.
But either way, I mean.
No, I get
we should
it.
do
I mean, it will take work, it'll take time, and it'll take money, but I think if we're gonna move forward doing business with these guys, we need to clear the air on what's what.
Yeah.
And then also for the protection of the taxpayers, to make sure that our money is going to where it's truly supposed to go to.
Absolutely.
I mean, especially where the superintendent had many opportunities to report that she sold school buses and that she did things. She didn't need to get prior permission according to the policy, but she does a monthly report to the school board. That should have been a part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
So for those reasons, it warrants
Be looked at.
to be looked at and to
Yeah.
do it to clear the air and set a new,
Yeah.
I think. How many open positions does MES currently have? The employment link on the Middleton Elementary website shows 5 current job openings. I hate how they do that. It's like, why not just answer the question instead of like turfing it? But
Joe, did you get an answer for that bus accident? I was not aware that
I don't know.
a
No.
driver in
No.
our bus
The only
hit
thing-
the Udor building.
So at the deliberative, we all got a printout, basically, of what had happened, what's being sold. And I think there's right around like 60 some odd $1,000 in total value, of everything that was taken care of. Never got an answer, of if the bus was worth 20,000, they paid 10, we paid whatever, I have no idea.
So I guess,
We never get an answer, we're not gonna get it.
so another question I would like to know is when those insurance claims were filed, obviously there had to be insurance claims filed for the building, because I'm sure there was damage to the
And
building.
it's all through Primex.
So whose Primex policy
Yeah.
covered it? Was it the bus driver, the employee or the car? Because I would like to think if it was a Governor Wentworth employee, that it should go under them.
Oh, I agree.
It's not the bus that caused the accident, it was the
right,
driver.
right.
And I would think if insurance didn't give us the full value of the bus, that we be recouped that money in the bills that we are receiving constantly from the
Yes.
SAU.
And we should also have a say in where the money goes to.
Well, and if our Primex policy was used and our rates go up because of that, we should be compensated.
Right. There's no reason our rates, because we all sitting here paying for that increase in Primex.
Yes.
So,
And I don't want to hear, well, things go up. Well, things go up if you have
well, yeah.
people ramming into buildings.
Those are good questions. I'd like answers to.
Write it down, because I'll be forgetting.
So and again, I'm in playing devil's advocate here, because, I mean, this is my second meeting to the school board, but, these are the questions I've had very well as well, not being on the board, that, where's the money? Now that we have the superintendent's left, the bookkeeper, whatever, Kathy O'Lean, I guess her name is, has left,
Yep.
like that. Who's gonna be changing the guy, who's gonna be involved?
Well, they announced that there's a new superintendent, some
There's
guy.
a new DA too, that was,
Yeah.
it was in the paper. so.
What was his name?
Some guy who had dealings with what Governor Wentworth in the past, like he's
I don't even know.
recycled from somewhere.
Yeah, but isn't he just like temporary?
Yeah, he's a temp as of now.
Interim?
And then, yeah, interim.
So the positions they have posted is a custodian, a substitute nurse, support staff special education, and a bus driver.
What,
That's for Middleton though, right?
so they still have that third bus driver position, that third full-time, is it a full-time big bus?
Well, I don't know if Dallas is driving for Middleton or,
Nope, Dallas is driving for Governor Wentworth.
so he's not.
It's not him,
To my knowledge, he's done at the end of the school year.
but that's Governor Wentworth's.
Yeah, that's what I
Probably.
thought.
But the last I heard that we had, so I guess when was the bus driver
It says,
posted?
it says spare/trip driver, and then it says bus driver, and then it says Middleton.
So is that bus driver position a full-time position? Is that the same one from back during deliberative?
I think there's the same one.
That was like, what was it, 36,000?
But this is available till August 24th.
It's probably like how long they'll have it posted, I don't know. It doesn't say when it was posted, it usually will say. Not that I can't click the button. I'm just curious to know if that's the same, like if they ever took that posting down because they had in that budget a significant amount of money, and how sick is that if they kept the money in that budget line for that position and then cut a custodian who is already full-time, already there, they cut his position and now he's leaving for a person that doesn't exist,
It says looking for a.
instead of taking that money and putting it down.
Looking for a spare/trip bus driver who is willing to fill in on any school bus route in the district and take our students, teens to other schools or locations for sports and field trips.
For Middleton?
Yeah, it says location, Middleton.
There are no schools.
Does it say anything about sign-on bonus?
Why, are we offering bonuses?
Why not? I know there's stupid things, so why would we do that?
Doesn't say it?
It doesn't say, it doesn't say like full-time, part-time.
Let me catch up here. What initiated that question at the last meeting?
So it was the how many open positions, so I was just,
Right.
so I wanted to know how many positions were available. Because I was hearing that people were leaving, so I just wanted to know like how many positions are open that they're gonna hire. Because that also could potentially affect the salary lines, because oftentimes in past, they'll have, let's say, a teacher who was making 50,000 a year leave. And they have it budgeted for 50,000 a year. And then they go ahead and they hire somebody new and they say, well, this person's making 70,000 a year because, well, they have all of these qualifications. And then we're like, okay, now you're well over budget because of all the lines that it hits. So I was curious to know, what positions are open and which ones they were. So
Okay.
then you can follow those salary lines.
So we were just looking to see if they were going over budget with hiring new people?
Well, just looking to see what positions and then you can kind of start following the budget lines and following what the salaries were. And then also, I guess for this, it's like, okay, well, if it's a bus driver position, I would like to know, are we writing down the questions?
It's 5/26, 26.
Yeah, this is only for an extra driver by the looks.
So I guess I would like to know what that is for that driver position. What is it budgeted for? Like, what is that how much of that wage line for the bus drivers is that budgeted for, and do we have it? And did they take out that full-time position that they had posted prior to deliberative? Because it's like I would have liked to have thought when they started making cuts and then they cut those other active people positions, that they would have said, well, let's just take the money for the bus driver that we don't have and haven't had in years and put it down here to keep the custodian.
So you're wanting this for tracking purposes. The only reason I ask this is because if they have their budget and they have a nurse that's making 70 grand a year and they have a custodian making 50, if both of those leave and they hire a nurse for 80 and a custodian for 40, doesn't that balance out? Can't you move the money?
Oh, you can, it's a bottom line
Yeah,
budget, you
it's
can
bottom
move
line,
it.
yeah.
And that's not a problem, but it would be nice to know upfront, so then when we're saying, 6 months from now, why is this wage line way over? Why is this retirement fund way over?
Right, so why do we need to know up front if their plan, and I'm guessing here, if their plan is to hire let's say a nurse for 80
Mhm.
and then cut the custodian by 10
Mhm.
and it still evens out. Why does that matter until the end of the year?
Well, my question is about the bus driver line. So my question is the bus driver position that's posted, are we replacing a current employee, or is this the vacant position that was open before elections and before budget was voted on,
Okay.
that they allotted almost, it was like $36,000 or $40,000 for it, that they could have said, we're gonna take that position down and put that money towards not losing a full-time custodian. And so my question is if that's the same position and they kept that money in that line for the position that they didn't need, and they cut a custodian that we do need, that's not being good stewards of our money. And what else is going on?
Well, because with the bus position that they were hiring, they had no bus for them to drive.
That was another thing.
There was no bus for them. They had this 40,000 in there, and there's no bus for them to drive. So why not take that 40,000?
Well, and it's not just 40,000, like, it might be 40,000 for the wages, but you also have to
Yeah.
think workers' compensation
Yeah.
is a percentage of that salary,
Yeah.
but then also all the tax lines. And then if there's health insurance that's attached to that and everything else, so, 40,000 could turn into 80,000 or, whatever it may be. Especially like if it's a teacher position, because the amount of money that we contribute to the teacher's retirement is,
Wow.
I want to say like 27% of their salary. So, I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, when I look at the salaries and I'm curious about that, oftentimes I become more concerned with the teacher ones because they're larger salaries, but it also hits multiple lines. And the retirement line is also a big one because it's a large percentage of their salary.
Okay.
Versus like, any of us that are in the private sector that have, if we're lucky, a 3% matching.
No, I'm just trying to,
Yeah,
and forgive me.
No,
I'm still
it's-
trying to learn all this stuff.
me too.
But it seems to me that we don't tell them how to spend their money.
No.
We just give them a budget and say, this is what you have. So if they decide to get rid of a bus driver and hire a very expensive custodian, what do we care about that?
Well,
Problem would come if they decide to hire a very expensive bus driver and a very expensive custodian.
Yeah,
Put that
and then,
No, but then it
So
always
this is
comes.
the part that I'm unclear on. Why does that bother us until they do it?
because, well, yeah, but then also in past history, they have done it.
Yeah, but it seems like we're trying to control what they should be doing with the money. And I get it, it's our tax dollars and we pay them. But we're the budget committee and we say, yes, you have the money, or no, you don't have the money. I'm trying to figure out why we're telling them how to spend the money.
I guess, and for me, it's not necessarily like telling them how to spend the money, but it's more of the fact that
accountability, transparency.
I get that.
it's
Yeah.
accountability and transparency, but then also is, I think, your job when you are selectman, when you're on the school board, when you are dealing with other people's money, you have a responsibility, like a moral and ethical responsibility and a duty to be a good steward of our money. We are entrusting you to make good choices. And if you're not making those good choices time after time, and then at the end of the year, you're saying, I need more, and you're causing it to go up, well, why should we trust you with more when you haven't been responsible with this?
Mhm.
And then just use the blank statement of, well, the cost of everything goes up. Well, people want to make more money. And it's like, well, I want to make more money too.
Same here.
So, if you're not going to be a good steward with you know, $4 million, why am I gonna trust you with $8 million? And it's like, I think if I was seeing them making better decisions about buses, staff, and everything else, and then looking outside of the box on how to cut money. Prime example, you know, they're looking all over the place for, supposedly looking for money. My thing is this, they're paying $50 a day to rent a Governor Wentworth small bus or van. We have a revolving fund. We would save about $10,000 from the budget if they went and bought our own from the revolving fund, and we have more than enough money. That's showing me if they thought outside the box and did something like that, that you're being a good steward of our money. And it's things like that. So yeah, I'm going to nitpick because being here for 13 years and watching my property taxes skyrocket the way they do, and trying to say like, I want to live here when I'm retired, if I can retire, is becoming more and more impossible. And watching the elders of our community struggle and then become resentful towards a school that's supposed to be a blessing for our community, I become very cynical and like, I will nitpick.
Well,
No,
and these,
I was just trying to drive back the
Yeah.
conversation to why we were talking about how many open positions there were. I wasn't sure why that concerned us. But thank you for the conversation.
One thing you have to do, remember that, most everybody knows this, but just to reiterate that from being a selectman and stuff like that, every budget that's voted on by taxpayers
Right.
is a bottom line budget. Okay? So if you have one department not being successful, another department is, you can take money from one or the other. But the very bottom line
Right.
is where the balance needs to be. And you can question all the stuff in between if you want. That's what you should do is,
That's what we should do.
The stewards, like that, you know. Why is the highway department $8 million over budget? You know, why happened?
Right.
You know, that sort of thing, okay?
Right.
But at the same token, I always remember it's a bottom line budget.
Mhm.
You can sit there and question all you want, but as long as they meet the budget and don't go over, there's not much you can do about
Yeah, every year, that's my concern. Did you go over budget or did you not?
it. So,
Well, if they go over budget, they have a lot of explaining to do because they have to go to the state and then they'll get a TAN notice and there's a lot of, I think they get fines and penalties and they're usually in some kind of newspaper.
Really? Okay.
see, in some of this, I think it keeps them on their toes. It's letting them know that we are watching,
Yeah.
you know? We're watching to see where the money's going, you know, so it's, you know, when-
Accountability.
when you sit in a school board meeting, which I was in the last one, but the one before, when you got someone up front saying, well, this is what it's gonna be for this year, but we'll probably be able next year, you know, the following, not this year, but you know, the year that's coming up, the budget season, we'll be able to fix that, basically. It's like, well, not if you're not handling the money correctly, you're not gonna add, you know, it's like, we're not gonna give it to you.
well, that people have very short memories to forget things like that. So how do you know that they're being taken care of the next year?
People only remember and forget when they get their tax bill in December, when so when the tax rate gets set in December and you get slapped in the face with an increase, or when you get your escrow,
Yeah.
when you get your escrow letter
Okay.
of, you know, you owe us $2,000.
It's starting to make more sense. Thank you.
And you have a right to ask this stuff.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm glad you're asking.
So, you know, the budget committee should be getting these answers automatically, but a lot of times you don't, and then Christine will go send off her 91A off, and then they, and even then it takes a while for them to get back to you, so.
And then we still don't get most of the answers we ask.
Yeah, because this,
The whole thing too is like that. When it comes time for voting and stuff like that, when we have the books like that and all the warrant articles like that, this board here sets the tone for the whole thing.
Right.
And you, in essence, the truth be told, selectmen, town side and the school side, kind of like need to respond to what you guys ask. When you're not here for us, we're here for you. Be honest with you, you're the voice. You are the voice of the taxpayer. So.
Speak to it.
because by us asking these questions, it puts it out there for other people to hear it. It's like, this is where your money's going, you know?
Well, and at the end, you know, when and hopefully like in March, when hopefully you sit up at the big table with us at deliberative, it says under each warrant article, like the budget committee approves, and it has the numbers of people that approve. So it's like, if you say like, yes, you support that budget, like you have some explaining to do. And like I've had this conversation with the school board and this SAU and the principal, I can in good faith, support a budget I don't understand. And say to the people in this town, oh yes, vote yes on this budget, you're gonna go broke, but vote yes on it.
But we have no idea where the money's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why we ask so many questions.
I got it.
How many staff members are taking benefits? Please refer to the Middleton Public Input Questions and Answers from the 9/10/25 school board meeting.
You must know.
So 4.
Number 4.
No,
Oh, I skipped number 4, I'm sorry. How many outgoing seniors and 6th grade students does MES have? The SAU 69 website shows enrollment numbers as of 10/1/25 under the date and data and reporting tab. 23 grade 6 students and 18 grade 12 students.
so I don't like this answer because I asked specifically for this question because things changed through the school year. We had the numbers back then.
They made it very
We
clear
wanted
though,
to
they're
know.
only gonna give you the BOI numbers, so I can say that at the end of the year is here, so the EOI numbers are out for the state. So I would request the numbers for the next, they will have the.
That's why I just asked this at the last meeting. So
Yeah, but she had said that a couple
Yeah.
of meetings ago that.
Yeah.
That's why, I remember last year in the fall, they would not give you the numbers until
Right.
October because they were waiting for BOI.
But they couldn't tell you like, oh, currently right now, we only have
Yeah.
They absolutely could.
16
Yes, but they're
seniors
not
leaving,
paying.
so we've been
Nice.
paying for 2 extra slots all this time. I mean, like, not that we have, not saying like,
Right.
what if 2 seniors left halfway through?
Mhm. Or 4 came in.
And, or, I mean, like, is that money that we shouldn't have to pay?
Mhm.
Well, and I think also that's why they pay the tuition, do they pay the tuition quarterly? Or, I don't think they pay it all at once.
Yeah, that's my question. Is it
We
monthly,
sign
quarterly?
checks every,
They pay the bills over to the SAU for the school.
Yeah.
Is that quarterly?
No,
It's monthly.
Yeah.
It's monthly. They get billed monthly for all that, right? Tuition.
I think so.
Yeah.
So hopefully
We decided to check
there's
last
somebody doing the checks and balances of like, we're being charged for 18
It was like $288,000 or something the last one. So,
It would be interesting to know if our tuition.
Yeah. Oh my
Is-
gosh.
It would be interesting to know if our tuition should go November this quarter. Because I can tell you, every student has a SACID number. So the second I pull a student out of school and they're going to Rochester, Rochester has to pick them up the very next day that I transfer someone out. So the state recognized that, as of tomorrow, Rochester is now billing for the student. So I don't know about our tuition agreement. Does it go per the day, the week, the month, or the quarter? Would make a difference.
Yes, it
Yes,
was.
it would.
Especially if the kid left in December.
And if it's quarterly, if they left in the
And they've
middle
been
of the
charging us, you know what I mean, like, I don't know, it's a good question.
They can charge us, the state can't charge us because the state number is per day.
But Governor Wentworth could charge us a tuition.
Depending on how that's written in.
Who's writing different questions?
Anybody? I got 2.
I've got 2.
That question you better send to Sierra. I'm not writing all that one down.
Alright, so what's the question?
How does Governor Wentworth
Bill?
bill our tuition rate?
Personally.
Our daily tuition rate, say that, because the state does ours actually.
But the answer is, they could bill monthly. I think what they do,
But
I
they
think
can
what
bill
they do
you
is they
monthly.
take the total tuition.
But if your tuition says quarterly, then your numbers could be locked in September and you would pay that till,
Right.
November.
You should write like a check for that amount.
Mm-hmm.
Or what could happen in between. I understand what you're asking, stuff like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And is it prorated?
Yeah.
It depends what the contract
Or-
states between us and.
I do wonder, does it go by the BOI? Because then you're locked in for the full year. Because they took out the MOI, which was the mid-year.
Well, and isn't that probably the most last, one of the reasons why we left is because we were getting charged and
That, yeah, was a whole money thing.
the whole big fiasco. I was just looking at that. Ready for the next one? Number 5, how many staff members are taking benefits? And then it was, please refer to the question answers from 9/10/25. School board meeting published on the SAU 69 website under school board and community relations. There are 20 employees who take the district health insurance. So it's like over $600,000 for 20 people. Kind of crazy. Do non-union staff have the same health benefit plan options as union members? This is number 6, sorry. As union members. If so, is it possible to shop around for other options? Yes, there are currently 3 non-union staff members who carry the same benefit plan options as the union members. The board may unilaterally consider options for non-union staff members. This is your opportunity, Joseph.
Save some money.
So this was my question from last month, and my question and / suggestion is, because there's more than one way to skin a cat, even though I love cats, is the union is not allowing us to shop around for them. But if we have non-union employees, who's to say that you guys can't say, we're gonna shop around for our non-union employees and potentially find a great deal that's comparable to what they have now, and either say we're going to move these people over to this plan or use that as information to bring up as a meeting to say, we found this out for these guys. Potentially, if the union's willing to play nice in the sandbox, we could potentially open it up for everybody if you let us shop, and then save the budget money to move into other positions, especially where they went to the school board crying that they were worried about, losing coworkers and resources and everything else because of the budget. It's just a loophole. So it's nice to see that you have that ability. I hope you do it. 7, has the SAU MES applied for any grants? For entitlement grants, in addition to applying for and receiving funds from Title I, Title II, and Title 5A, the SAU has pursued and received SRSA, which is Small Rural School Achievement Program, grant funds. These grants total approximately $105,549 for the 25-26 school year. Additionally, Middleton receives just under $72,000 in IDEA grant funds. For competitive grants, MES was recently awarded a New Hampshire safety grant. The Middleton buses did not qualify for the recent transportation grants, probably because they did it too late. The school board contracted service, so that was that response. I don't think they're doing enough because there's so many grants out there. I think they're just picking from low-hanging fruit, in my opinion.
Where does the grant show up on the budget?
Would grants show up
Revenue.
with revenue? So it'd be in the revenue line. But, I mean, it's my whole questioning of that is that there is so many grants that somebody should just constantly be looking for. There's grants, like Nike has a grant for like athletic stuff, and for like if they wanted to redo the baseball field out in the playground, and like there's so many different grants other than these. Like I call them like kind of low-hanging fruit because they're like the generic like state and government ones that I think everybody goes for.
Do they have a grant writer position? I don't know. Usually it's like they'll combine 2 positions to make that, because it's a task. It's not easy.
No, you got
I'm
it.
sure it's not, but it's like when you keep raising your budget, $1.5 million.
I'm just saying, if it's at the SAU, we are paying SAU services.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So it's like, other than bookkeeping and poor decision-making, what you doing for us? I am critical, I like my money. Number 8, the school board contracted service line is over budget by more than $4,000. Why is this? Answer, please refer to Middleton Public Input Questions and Answers from the April 8, 2026 school board meeting published on the SAU 69 website under school board/community relations. This line includes the E-rate contract for $2,000 and the balance is for all criminal record checks for new employee hires and volunteers for chaperoning field trips. This also includes Senate Bill 2 voting costs. The rest is being adjusted through a journal entry to the appropriate GL lines.
I do not agree with us paying for chaperoning.
I pay my own. I'll be honest with you, I don't either.
It's not
I
a
think-
contracted service. That is a parent wanting to be on a field trip.
I think it's,
They should have to pay the money to go get the live scan.
Right.
I don't know a lot of schools that do that still.
when I went and got the background check for myself so I could chaperone for Ben in the kindergarten, they said, oh, just submit everything to us and we'll reimburse you. And I didn't feel right about it, so I didn't do it. I think it was like, what, $25, $30? It was cheap enough, but I feel like it's my responsibility as a parent to do that. I shouldn't have to rely on other people to do my job as a parent. But that's just me. I don't think it's that a huge cost or an unrealistic thing for parents to have them check themselves. Whatever.
But it could be $200-300 for 6th grade, for 2 to 3 parents.
Yeah.
Is there a threshold?
Mm.
Would you be willing to background the entire?
Well, that's just it.
Or could you say, hey, Christine, I know you want to go for 3rd grade, but we need someone for 5th grade. Since you already have a background check, would you be more than willing to?
Or just say to those parents, hey, you're a parent, just pay the $25. You're gonna do it a nice coffee in 3 days. Why rely on the rest of the time to, I don't know, I'm cynical.
What's the Senate Bill 2?
I wonder if that's have anything to do with the town part of the voting.
Senate Bill 2, was that when we had to have the second,
I'm thinking that's what it is, yeah.
oh, is that second, thing we had to do because of their
Yep.
contract?
Mhm.
Because they had to pay for all of us to sit at the poll. And did they have to pay extra money for that deliberative, that second deliberative? Or hearing?
What do you mean? Extra money as far as they had to pay ballot clerks, supervisors, moderator, all that they had to pay for.
Yeah.
It's not
Did
broken down.
Did they get charged for that?
I got paid for being ballot
It's like
clerk.
that. Yeah, everybody had to get paid?
Yeah.
But why is that broken down? Like, why it's just here's $2,000, and it's not, this is how much this was, and this is how much.
No, this
was.
is the kind of answers we get.
No, I know that, but
Mm-hmm.
Mark, corporate can be like,
Where's the receipts? Yeah.
how many background check was it? How many this was it? How many this?
Well, and I think this is why, going back to, when you were questioning about why we're being so detailed with our questions, is because I personally think, like, when we ask questions like this, the right thing to do would say, like, okay, let me break it down for you and explain it to you and show you where all the money's going. Like, this is why it costs so much. It's kind of like, when your wife comes home and spends $600 on groceries and you're like, what the hell? And she says, here's the receipt, like milk's $5 a gallon. See, like, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is why it's adding up. Like, if the SAU did that, then we could be like, all right, it sucks, but like, it is what it is. And I think the more that they keep holding back from us and the more like the tit for tat game that they play is why we kind of, where
Oh,
we
this is a good example, because over budget, those are the two key words for me.
Yeah.
They're over budget, okay, give me your line items, let me see where you spent this money and why.
Exactly.
So can we find out why they're over budget? And as far as line items go? I mean, you're telling me it's, you know, for criminal records, for how many people and what did it cost per person? Because you're over budget, I need to know why.
Well, and then I guess another thing is so if we're paying for parents or people to have like criminal records done, well, what if they fail? Like, and it
Yeah,
happens.
you still have to pay.
You still have to pay for it. So where other places, like I can tell you this because my neighbor just got a job working for Governor Wentworth. She had to pay to have her background check done, and then they said, we will reimburse you if you pass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, that's reasonable. Like, I think like for an employee, like, okay, that's reasonable. They're an employee, like you can, whatever. You can come, but for,
So is that not how this is happening?
well, this is for like the chaperones,
Right,
but it's like,
but they have to get a background check.
they have to get a background check and then they're just paying for it. And then it's like, well, it would really stink to hear that we're paying for background checks that don't even pass, and then it's truly wasted money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Like she said, 25 bucks a person, 4 people, it's $100. Like, take a guess.
I'd like to know more why they're over $4,000.
That was all the questions.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and it's, again, like, when, and I have done many 91A requests over this past year for more details, and I never get it. I never fully get what I ask for. I mean, even my big thing was I wanted the full report of this, because, for example, like this wage line, if you were to sit in front of the computer and you clicked on this wage line, there would be a drop down and you would see everything under this wage line, like more in detail. So I wanted that report. And we kept going back and forth and I was told that doesn't exist. And it wasn't until I had 2 people, one here, that was like, no, that does exist. I know for a fact, and you called it something fancy. And she used it because she used the correct terminology, even though I explained myself 20 different ways. I was then told, well, that would be a 500-page report. Do you really want it? And I was like, yes, I want it. I even handed over like thumb drive. And then I ended up getting 44 pages, and I can tell you it wasn't accurate at all, because then when I looked at the wage line, there was only like 3 staff that was listed.
That's a lot of money.
So I'm like, I know there's more than 3 staff under this line because you've only listed like 3 teachers. So it's very frustrating because I'm also not asking because I'm not trying to be a hard ass, but I'm trying to ask so I understand everything fully and trying to learn, especially because numbers and accounting are not my thing. I can balance my checkbook and I know, you can't spend $1,000 if you only have 500. But it's like when I'm genuinely trying to learn and understand so I can make good choices and they're not willing to give the information. But I mean, you can just go onto the Governor Wentworth website. When you go under 91A, you can read all of their 91A requests that they are given from that district. And the people in that district are having the same frustrations that we are. Because if you just read what their requests, you can read all of their requests. And they're basically, it aligns with everything that we ask. So they're not being transparent with their own people.
So a couple of questions on that, if we have time. Sorry, I was trying to make it a quick meeting, but. So your 98-1 requests, anybody can submit those, or does that come from the committee?
Nope, anymore.
Any?
And
Joe
Joe
Schmo?
Schmo, you don't
Yep,
even have
yep.
to live in town. Any 91A, anybody.
You can be a Massachusetts resident and 91A request.
What is the turnaround
Never.
They have to respond to you within 5 business days.
by law?
Right.
Yes, they could say, it's gonna take us a month or 2.
But that's a response.
Right.
Yeah,
By
that's
the-
the response, yeah.
Okay.
If you can go online and research RSA 91-A and it will give you the full law.
Okay.
And a lot of this stuff should be posted anyway, because that's what most places do, so you don't have to go searching for it.
I think, Robin, if you could break down what they usually finish their budget like mid-August. If we could get a breakdown of the Infinite Visions run report for a breakdown of every line for SAU
Do you think they'll have,
69.
do you think they'll have that, or they'll use the excuse that, well, we're so happy?
Well, I'm gonna take the approach that we have a brand new superintendent, a brand new VA. I really do think that this board should go out and like be positive, like we're gonna start off on a good foot. And that report, if they can produce it, and it's, I mean, it literally is several clicks, and it's gonna be a long report.
So you want me to ask the new, bookkeeper or business manager?
Well, I just want it in the minutes that
I'll take it.
we will, get,
So,
and
Gary.
it's called Infinite Visions, and Kathleen O'Lean said that that's what they use, so it's the same thing I use every day at work.
And who's gonna ask for that?
Well,
Joe
can
just
get
said
the-
they'll take care of it.
Right. If we could get, the breakdown of every line.
With that,
And it will only be electronic, because they're never gonna print that out, which is fine. For this year, the school year 25-26. Even if we had that, then moving forward, it would be much easier to refer back to that as like, you know, the foundation.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when they first started school, after the first year, like, didn't we have that?
We
given
used to
to us?
get, yeah,
We did. Because, and I thought we did, and I called up Kathy O'Lean on it last fall. What's the problem? We used to get this information, but Kathy Egbert was there. She made sure we got it though.
I had said that.
So I know
to
you
Ron.
can do it, it's whether you want to.
I don't know what happened along the way. I know when I was chair of the budget committee, we had a great relationship with Kathy. She was very responsive. I would email her on my own personal and.
But that was
I would
only,
get that.
she retired, like,
Yeah.
they had 3 or 4 of them that retired all at the same time, at the end of 1 year, like that, and this whole new regime came in, and it's now, they're not as responsive to the questions that we'd like to have that we had before.
Yeah.
I mean, I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, I'm the type of person, I want to know exactly where the details are. Drill down as far as you can drill, and there's no way you can drill anymore, okay, to get the answer. I don't care if it takes you 500 pieces of paper. I'll bring out the paper and the ink for you to do it, if that's what's required,
Yeah.
okay? Just give us what we want,
Yeah.
you know? And my biggest feeling like that, and I know I'm the school board member, but as Joe Bailey taxpayer, okay? We're paying for this.
Mhm.
They're a contractor. They don't run us. And that's what it seems like
Yeah.
before we built this school from another SAU, okay? That, who are you to ask us questions like that? And I can't handle that kind of stuff, okay? So, we want the answers. I want these answers. You used to get them. You can do it. Press the damn button. But first, let me get you the ink paper so you don't have to spend your money. Okay? I'll take care of that on my own part.
I look at this here now. I'm not gonna get
Yeah,
it anymore.
I can't handle stuff like this.
Love
It
it.
freaks me.
Love it. So I do agree with, you know, like whole new crew, like I agree with what Tracy said, like these are new people. I'm willing to start like new page, clean slate, like I want this. I don't want to come in every month and have a fight. So with that being said, I kind of would like to see like maybe September, October, they come to our budget meeting.
I
One,
was going to bring up the same thing. Would it behoove everybody, we at the budget committee, selectmen, school board, all together, in one room, and have clear the air and have some expectations from everybody. Everybody.
well, because you know how I like to start the budget preparation in like October, because I hate the 11th hour crap that used to happen.
Yeah.
So then that way we can have this open conversation and dialogue, and when we have questions, we're not able to get the answers, and then we're having to make decisions on little information. Like, start the process like September, October, of like, let's come in, let's start talking, what are you thinking, what are your ideas for
Well,
the
it's good to
budget?
have new people come too, just so they
Yeah.
know what we want, what
Yeah.
we're looking for.
Yeah,
And it's a whole new, as a new superintendent and bookkeeper or whoever they have up there doing that, at least you get a face and a name and like that, whatever. So like it's sort of somewhat of a meet and greet type of thing.
Right,
mhm.
exactly.
And that'd be good for everybody.
So it's,
Because, I mean, I really feel like, really, it's like being on this town side of it, as a taxpayer, and then whatever, there's a we they thing going on here,
yeah,
big time, between school and everybody else.
no.
And that's supposed to be part of the town, not a thorn in the side of the town, you know? And it's just, I just think a meet and greet, and people get together in one room and take care of it. It's just like a simple thing like that from voting down there. They build you to have that. You want to sit there and keep on driving wedges and keep doing it that way. But I will say on behalf of the school board, that was not their decision. That was another decision made for somebody else.
Yes, but
And it shouldn't have been.
you guys were in
It
charge.
should have been cleared through the school board prior to doing it. Okay?
But the school board should have stomped back and said,
Oh, absolutely.
but now that you're on
There
the
should be
board,
some reimbursement going on.
word.
Yeah, well,
No, I agree,
we'll see how it goes in the future.
sounds like that. So is it just the superintendent that's the interim, like the bookkeeper is like a permanent?
Yeah, Kathy O'Bean's completely gone, so. I
and
don't-
I think that position is filled though with
Phil,
Filled
Yeah.
with a permanent, not an interim,
Permanent.
okay.
Okay.
so will
I'll
that
start somewhere.
version that you said, Tracy, give you like on the snow removal line? You have 2025.
It's literally your purchase orders in those, so snow removal, it will say like on
Because it's
December
2020.
12th, there was it's gonna be, that's why I said it could be extremely lengthy.
I only asked that because the 25-26 budget was 8,500, but their contract was 5,400. So I understand you got the difference just in case it snows more or anything like that, but they spend 11. So,
If there's an invoice, it would be on the drop down.
that's one way into my wondering, it's hiding money. And that could be a way of hiding money. Not that they're doing that, I'm saying. But my background would be, that's how you hide money.
Well, and the other thing is, it's like a lot of these lines, I mean, like, obviously, wages, you're like, okay, wages are wages, but then we always used to ask, like, well, who's in the wage line?
Yeah.
I mean, how many meetings did we go to where we're like, who's in the wage line, because there's several wage lines?
Yeah,
Mhm.
oh, it's 2 to 3 people,
Yeah.
or
It's 25 people, it's everybody, all the teachers.
Well, even the special ed is in different pockets throughout the whole thing.
Well, that, like even the paraprofessionals, not all the paraprofessionals are under one wage line. They're like,
And we've asked for breakdowns, asked for what's in these.
well, you get the sheet of everybody's name, with all their
Yeah.
things, but really it's what's, that's what I'm working on.
just to get full understanding. So.
Any more discussion? Anybody have anything on the actual financials from the school? I mean, getting close to the end of the year.
So if they're, so is this correct? They're at 51.2% as of June 30th? Or no, not as of, well. So I guess that's,
This is for.
so printed June 4th.
Yeah.
So if they're at 51%, but then their budget goes until July 1st, so obviously this isn't accurate, or if this is accurate,
June 30th.
June 30th.
July 1st, yeah. So, because it's July 1st to June 30th, their budget cycle, and it says here down at the bottom, like the grant, like they've got a remaining of 51.23% left. And if this was printed on June 4th, and you have like less than
30 days on your budget. I'm just wondering how much is like pending that they haven't like cut
I'm
checks?
sure there's some end of the year contracts and
Yeah,
stuff
that's gotta
that
come out.
I'm just curious to know like how much,
we won't know until our next meeting.
if we're lucky.
Yeah.
It's just interesting, and then it will be interesting to see like how much is like left over, if any.
Where are you looking 51%?
At the very back.
Back page.
This is their end of year, just so you know, page 5.
Oh, yeah.
They're at 0.47%.
So is that there?
Because their budget is the 5.4. You were looking at,
Was I looking at federal?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I was looking at
Okay.
federal line. Thank you. This is why I said it's
oh my
smarter.
God, they should have like $2 million if it's 51.
I'm used to having the other paper that's column too. I realize that freaking. Okay. So that makes a little bit more sense. So then for the federal, is that like the federal one that was given to us? So then, okay. So if we
Depending
put
on if they have
Question.
residential placement, out of district
More
placement. I don't know.
well, then I would hope that they would take advantage of as much of that as they could.
Like,
Notice if
say
there's
it was
no
like
sense above
they would come
line
from
budget.
27,000.
I see things that are like
As a-
floating in the lines.
Yeah.
What we see in August and September from this past year, as if they kept.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to.
Are we good with the school? Good with the school now, Danielle? You- Yep,
Before we go to school,
good with the school, move
I
on to
think
the
so.
town?
Yeah. That was the easy part.
Yeah, guess it's more plain out there.
So we should be about 41.67% for at. This is the end of May.
If Sierra was here, she'd tell us exactly where we're supposed to be.
Well, where we are,
I
it's
know.
41.67. Where we're
But you know how
supposed to
she
be, I'm
is.
not
You know
sure.
how she
Yes.
is. Her brain, because of working over at Elliott, she works that way.
Yeah.
The ZBA legal, are we hoping to stay where we're at, or, because that hasn't ended yet, right?
Yeah, but we don't expect to be spending a lot.
Right.
Okay.
We budgeted or asked for the warrant article just in case. But the, our attorney gave us an idea of what to expect. She doesn't expect it
Much
to be a
more.
whole lot more money.
At least for now.
Yeah.
Nice to see that the overtime lines for like the police and all of that are
well controlled.
Yeah, it's doing well with that budget.
Were you thinking that's because they hired a new person?
Well, we have 2 full-time and 2 part-time right now, so.
But one of them is fairly new, right? Didn't they just graduate academy or something?
Well, she's been with us for over a year.
Oh,
Well, I think the new part-time person, she works over, is it Waterville?
Yeah, she works.
She's like a police officer and firefighter.
Right.
I think they both graduated like 2+ years ago. They were in the same class.
Right. And then Taylor took some time off to have a baby.
Not now.
Right.
She's been here for a year.
Yeah.
But she took off
Previously, yeah, okay.
Just saw her.
Mhm.
Yeah. We've had a lot more calls with the fire department, EMS. They've like doubled their calls last month.
Yeah.
So how is their, I don't know if you would know, but how is the money coming in from those service calls?
I mean, bills are out there waiting. They get some in.
And are they able
So-
to do more mutual aid to collect
They have done mutual aid. He's hoping to have a full-time department because that's what we really need. So he's already warned me that on the new budget to
So
expect-
is he expecting like full-time position, or is he wanting to do a 7-day-a-week with part-time people? Because that's a huge difference.
Yes.
So basically like Milton.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what Milton does, but
I mean, Milton has, I think, 24-hour service, but that's only because they have the facilities to do it. But I think out of all of their guys, there might be like only a couple that are like full-time. Everybody else is like,
yeah, I don't think he means full-time,
Yeah, I think
but
it's
full-time
7 days.
coverage.
okay.
So.
Because finance-wise, having like a
Right.
full-time, because then you're getting into not just insurance, but that
Right,
their retirement.
absolutely. No, he's looking for full-time coverage, because there are times when we don't
He's-
have any, so.
Is he able to do 6 days a week now?
It's either 5 or 6,
Because I thought it was,
as far as I know, it can go up.
but it's improved.
Absolutely.
Tremendously since he's come over.
Absolutely. And when we do have to call for mutual aid, at least we're not being charged for it now.
Yeah.
So,
Because it's truly mutual.
right,
Right,
exactly.
the 25 was for, to do Saturdays.
To do
Yeah,
Saturdays.
yeah, they were supposed
And then he
to
was
do
saying
He
like
wants to get
next
year,
year,
he wanted to pick up
Sunday,
one
yeah.
pick up Sunday.
Yep, exactly.
For the select
So he's
days.
already warned me that his budget's gonna be increased this year. But we've got a lot more employees now too, so.
Well, and I think also the other thing is getting that revenue in,
Yeah,
is gonna help offset the cost of
absolutely.
hearing all those people.
Yep.
And we're not spending, $30,000 a year to have somebody else take care of us.
Right.
And did you see those guys in action? How many times did you get it?
Well,
You were here when,
last month,
and they got 3 calls. I swear, it was like back to back to back.
It was.
And seeing them not flying or driving really fast, but cautionally driving and flying in there
Yeah.
to go help. It was I was just like,
we
oh
were
my
standing there
God,
outside
that is,
talking, and it
like,
was like they would leave, and no sooner would they come back, they were like,
Right,
at the
right.
door.
Yeah, you
We're
were
like,
here
"What the
that
heck?"
night, yeah. I was like, I wanted to go to the store and get water and snacks because I was like, they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like they would, and they didn't even look at anybody, they just ran from their car, ran in there, got the truck and off, and it was just,
There was 3 of them, back to back to back.
right? And like, they're coming again, here, like, you could hear them coming.
Yeah.
And sorry, that was just my input, it was just.
No,
But
it was
it's
really
nice to see that they're
Considering,
responding.
like, hearing it from like 5 miles away, they're coming and like, come on, step on that gas to help whoever it was you had, and they went in within seconds.
Yep.
So you're checking up the firefighters.
Not my cup of tea. No. Mine's different kind of uniform.
We good here on this one?
Really not a lot.
Gonna say gas is up across the board.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was my other concern with the fuel line, with the fuel being so much, is there like any kind of thought or plan of what to do if this keeps going? Especially as we go into the cold season?
Yeah, you got a question about, is that contracted or something that was answered no? Like a set price?
Oh, I asked that last month about looking like this, what the state does, because I know.
As far as we know, no.
But so with that, because you never know what the bill's gonna be with Dead River, like when they go fill up. I'm just concerned, and I always say this to the guys, the highway department, because they are really good about cutting and staying within a really good budget. And I always panic when they cut the fuel line, because I'm like, you don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, if gas prices continue to stay what they are, and then we get hammered with storms in the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. We're not having any snow next winter. We had too much last year.
But Bonnie, we get a dusting and you're like, this is, we're done.
True story.
She smelled it in the air and she's like, oh no.
The weatherman talks about snow and she's like,
Yep.
winter's canceled.
Our winter was like 19 months long, so let's have a break here. It's all Tracy's fault.
Hey, you have an SUV now.
That's true. I still don't like snow.
Yeah, because your gasoline lines.
Yeah,
So say the fire line.
they've had a lot more calls, so
So with the
theirs is up.
ambulance revolving fund, how that's written up. It's not just written for the ambulance. I know we had this discussion, I was heated about it. But how that ambulance like revolving fund is, or the revolving fund, is there a way to help with the fuel from one of those funds?
I didn't think so.
You can't touch a revolving fund. The intended purpose of a revolving fund is to put money away for a new piece of equipment that is designated for. You cannot use the money for anything other than that. It's a savings account.
So, but wasn't at one point they
You
were
cannot-
using money from
I know what you're getting
that
at, like,
ambulance because it also
personnel.
for personnel?
Yep.
Yeah,
You cannot use it.
because
You have it.
and
It's worded, I don't know that it's worded as ambulance. It's worded something, because yeah, it was used for personnel. I remember.
It was because we were told, because I fought that heavily, because I was like, we're gonna use all of this money because we're not getting anything to replenish it, and then we're gonna need an expensive piece of equipment and we're gonna have nothing because we're paying people out of it.
Can't use it.
And then I was told the way it was written and the way it's worded that it was.
Like the-
That's
You
Roxanne.
can call the DRA. and ask them
Clarification.
how it's worded, okay? I mean, that's like the school and the buses, okay? Bus drivers want more money and stuff like that, but you can't take the money for wages for personnel, for the school bus drivers, other money you're saving for a bus. You can't do that. If it's
Bonnie,
written
ask
up,
Roxanne
revolving
about
fund,
that.
Yeah, I'm writing it
if
down.
it's written up that we can, it's a different story, but that has to be voted on by the taxpayers, not.
Oh, I know.
When was that warrant article written? Because we could go back to that. Does it say
I guess that's good.
on that line? Because if you'd have to read that original warrant article, right? To find out the detail. When did we get that ambulance?
And that would have to be approved by the taxpayers. That's
What was that,
town
10
vote.
years ago? Yeah,
The
because the
warrants
warrant
were
was
the
still
same.
there, yeah. Because I remember having a picture taken of it.
Yeah,
I'm
green on it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful color. That line.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Well, a reminder for the next month, it's canceled for the summer, and then of course, August, next one will be in August 17th. Oh, right. The email, the budget committee email, this is a conversation Kim and I had a few months ago about maybe everybody should have the password to check it. So, I mean, I don't mind forwarding the things to people, but at the same time, with 91As and people wanting your phones and your emails and all that stuff to check if something they're questioning. So I didn't know if people wanted it so they could check it and just forward to themselves what they want, or they want me to continue.
I would like you to continue.
Okay, but I will give it to you because being the co-chair, but also where I'm not going to be here in August, you can check it that couple days before because usually Robin will send some things out or something, and or like the week before or even next week actually, you'll probably send out the minutes, but that's stuff that needs to be forwarded to people. But but I know that you already have it anyway from being on the committee, and Sierra has it too. So.
What was the reasoning in the past, you guys that were here, for everybody to have it?
I don't think we really just didn't.
I don't think anybody else used it but the chair and the vice chair, but it was just, yeah, people didn't want to use their personal emails.
Which is a good point.
You know, once you, I didn't even look at how you send it out, but if you don't BCC people on it and people reply all instantly, you have a form, which opens you up, yeah.
That's a good point.
That's why you should never respond all to anything from the board. Just, it's a safety feature, but yeah, either way.
I'm gonna try BCC.
Yeah.
Hey, can we have the financials emailed to the budget committee, like a week before our meeting? I know before they said not until the school board gets it, but not for nothing, like I could 91A the financials on my own a week before the school board meeting.
I thought I sent them forwarded to you last week in Sierra, or whenever we got them from. Whenever we got them, because she let me know that she had let the superintendent know, and then as soon as I saw it, I forwarded it to everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, can we just make sure like that we get into the habit of now doing that? I mean, I'm sure with Sierra, things will change, but then she also said that she has to go onto the school website.
Yep.
Like she doesn't even get them from the financial person.
Yeah,
She has to
yep,
go to the
yep,
school
yep.
website and look,
Superintendent told her to go to the website.
I don't,
which I think that's just wrong. Like, I think that's not, it's not good business and it's not like showing good faith of like trying to work with somebody. Like saying like every time we ask a question, it's like you need to go here and find that information out.
And any new contract.
See, then again, if we had people sitting here, you could ask a direct question. Yeah.
And any new contracts that are expired.
What was that motion?
motion to
I'll
adjourn.
second.
Everybody want to adjourn at 7:51. Oh,
Aye.
aye.
I
Aye.